Warning, if you feel like you're being watched by the trees here in Woodlands National Park, you are. There are dangerous creatures here in these woods that look exactly like trees, but they are very dangerous and they are out to get you. If you hear loud rustling in the woods or see a tree that is suspiciously out of place, report it to a park ranger immediately. We are currently conducting an investigation.
Most folks think they know fear. They watch horror movies, hear campfire tales, maybe get a cold chill walking through an old hallway. But every now and then, something comes along that sticks, gets in your bones, make you look over your shoulder for days after. This next story, one of those. A group of friends, a quiet forest, and something that wasn't supposed to be there. You should hear this, and then we'll try to figure out what exactly was watching them. If you're new here, welcome to the channel. We dive deep into horror stories like this, peel back the layers, and see what's hiding underneath. Supernatural, unexplained, cursed, whatever it is, we face it head on. So if you like staring into the dark until the dark blinks first, stick around, subscribe. Now let's get into it. I need to know if anyone else has ever experienced something like this. I swear it wasn't a dream, it happened, and the more I think about it, the more I feel like it's not over. So, a few weeks ago, 3 of my closest friends and I decided to go hiking over the weekend. Nothing crazy, just 2 nights in the forest to get away from the city noise and breathe in some clean air. It was me, my childhood friend David, our buddy Leo, and Leo's girlfriend Mia. Leo had this rugged off-road SUV he always bragged about, and it was perfect for the trip. We packed up supplies, tents, sleeping bags, enough food and water, a first aid kit, some flashlights, and hit the road Friday afternoon. By the time we reached the edge of the forest, the sun was already starting to dip below the horizon. We left the car parked off the side of an old dirty road, shouldered our packs and hiked in. The forest was dense, wild, and eerily quiet. No cell signal. No sounds of distant cars or people. Just the occasional bird call and the crunch of leaves under our boots. By nightfall, we were deep in the woods. We set up our tents near a small clearing, built a campfire, ate some pre-packed sandwiches while swapping stories. Leo and Mia took one tent, and David and I shared the other. I remember joking about bears and monsters, trying to spook Mia, who pretended to be annoyed. That first night, something happened. I woke up to this sound. Heavy, deliberate footsteps, not like an animal. These were slow, heavy, like a person walking barefoot on the forest floor. I held my breath, listening. David was snoring softly beside me. I unzipped the tent door just a crack. It was pitch black. The fire had died down to embers. I grabbed my flashlight and flicked it on. That's when I saw it. About 20, maybe 30 feet away. In the space between the trees, there was something standing there. At first I thought it was just a tree, but it was too thin and tall. At least 12 feet. Its limbs were long like branches, but they had too many bends in them. Its skin, if you could call it that, was just a dull grey-brown, like old bark. Its head, it was shaped like a crown of splintered wood. It didn't move, it just stood there, as if it was trying to blend in with the forest. But I knew it saw me. I stared at it for what felt like forever. Then I blinked, and it was gone. Just gone. I didn't wake David. I didn't say anything. I laid there the rest of the night, wide awake, heart pounding. Morning came like a slap in the face. Sunlight through the tent walls finally gave me enough courage to step outside, and that's when we all realized something was very wrong. The surroundings had changed. Our tents were no longer in the clearing. The logs we set on the night before were gone. Even the ashes from our campfire had vanished. The terrain was different. New slopes, unfamiliar trees, even the smell of the air was different. Did we move in our sleep? Mia asked. Maybe someone moved us, Leo said, only half joking. But it doesn't make sense, our bags are still zipped up, nothing's disturbed. David walked in a cycle, rubbing his neck. This is not where we camped. I remember that boulder near the tree line. It's gone. We all stood there in a stunned silence, trying to make sense of it. Maybe we are just turned around, I offered, trying to sound logical even though my stomach was in knots. So we packed up and hiked in the direction we thought we came from. Hours passed. The sun climbed overhead, then began to dip again. We should have hit the road by noon. Instead, we found ourselves walking in what felt like circles. The trees started to look the same. Even the moss on the trunks pointed the wrong direction. Like the forest itself was shifting. David kept checking his compass. It's broken, man, the needle spinning. We were exhausted and starting to panic. As night approached, we reluctantly set up camp again. This time, we decided to take shifts staying awake, just in case. I took the first watch. Everyone else drifted off to sleep. The fire cracked softly. The forest felt heavier than before, like it was pressing in around us. Then I heard it again. Heavy footsteps, same as the night before. I grabbed a flashlight and stood up, scanning the trees. I held my breath. There it was. Closer this time, still trying to pretend it was a tree. Still tall, skeletal, its limbs grotesquely twisted. But now its head was tilted, like it was curious, watching me. And I swear it had moved. Not walked, not run, just shifted. Like it blinked from one spot to another. I whispered, "Who's there?" But the sound felt swallowed by the forest. It took a step forward me. The ground did not crunch. It was silent, effortless. That thing was not bound by normal rules. I shouted, waking the others. The flashlight flickered, then died completely. David ran out of the tent. "What is it? What do you see?" I turned to him. "It's here. It's right here." But when we turned back to the trees, it was gone again. That was our last night in the forest. The next day we just walked in any direction. We walked until we could not feel our legs. And somehow we stumbled onto the road. Just like that. No warning, no trail. The forest just ended. We never spoke about it again. We all agreed to say it was some weird group hallucination. Stress, dehydration, maybe bad mushrooms in the food. Something. But I know what I saw. I know it was real. And I can't stop thinking about that thing. That's it, still in those woods. Still watching. Still waiting. If anyone's ever experienced something like this, please tell me. If I had not looked at it, if I would just stayed in the tent, would we have made it out sooner? Or would we still be lost in there? Worse, what if it followed us out? Forests, always a good start. Deep woods have a way of hiding things. Not just predators or poison ivy. I'm talking about the real things. Old things. Spirits that never left. Beings that are not too fond of company, or worse, those that are. What our storyteller described. The tall, twisted thing, standing between the trees, watching. Not moving like a man or an animal, More like it just existed there, camouflaged by the woods themselves. Let me tell you something. Creatures like that, they are not just figments. Folklore from dozens of cultures speak of forest entities that mimic trees, shift through the shadows, and mess with your sense of time and direction. Let's start with the obvious guess: the Wendigo, northern Native American folklore. Spirit born from greed, starvation, or cannibalism. Gaunt, tall, twisted limbs, sharp antlers, or a wrapped crown of bone or wood. The Wendigo doesn't just kill, it corrupts, makes people lose their way, mentally and physically. Starts slow. Nightmares, lost trails, flickering lights. Then it moves in closer. But what stands out to me? This thing. It didn't chase them. It watched. Like a predator testing the herd. Smart ones do that. Wait for weakness. Now. Another possibility. Ever heard of a Leshy? Slavic folklore. Spirit of the forest. Shapeshifter. Likes leading travelers astray, confusing them, even stealing them away entirely. Some Leshy don't kill. Don't directly, at least. They let the forest do that. You get lost, cold, starve, go mad. The story said the woods changed overnight. Terrain, layout, even the smell. Classic Leshy signature, if you ask me. It's territorial, very territorial even, and it can warp reality to protect its domain. There is also Skogsrå, from Scandinavian lore. A beautiful woman in some tales lures men deep into woods. But in her true form, she's more like a bark-covered creature with hollow eyes and tree-like body. Sounds familiar, doesn't it? Let's talk about movement for a second. It blinked, didn't walk, didn't run, just appeared somewhere else. That's not an animal behavior. Not the ones we know. That's something outside the physical world. Could mean the thing exists between dimensions. The forest might not be just trees and dirt anymore. It could be a veil, a border. And the spinning compass, classic sign of geomagnetic interference. Usually happens near cursed grounds or ancient ritual sites. Could be tied to a ley line, a place where supernatural energy runs stronger. You ever notice how people vanish in forests every year? Some get chalked up to the animals or bad weather. But some never leave because the forest didn't want them to. That brings me to a bigger question. Why them? Was it random? Could be. Wrong place, wrong time. Okay. Or maybe something else. Stress, trauma, these things make you more vulnerable to supernatural forces. But sometimes it's the opposite. Strong minds, ones that resist fear or question reality, stand out. You shine like a torch in the dark, and the dark gets curious. Let me ask you this. What if this thing didn't fail to take them? What if it just marked them, left them to go on purpose? You don't let prey see you twice unless you want to be remembered. Unless you're planning something longer, deeper. Some of these spirits, especially the ancient ones, don't hunt like beasts. They don't need blood. They feed off confusion, fear, unraveling sanity, patience. You remember how the forest spat them back out? No trail, no warning, like it decided, not yet. There is one more theory, less of a creature, more of a curse. An area where reality breaks down, locals avoid it, animals go silent, a thin place some call it. The wheel between worlds is thin there. You step through it even for a night, you bring a piece of it back with you. It follows. That thing they saw, it might still be with them, Not walking behind them, no. Inside, in the dreams, in the silence when you're alone. And if it won't sin again, it won't knock. So, what do? First of all, don't go back. That's Forrest made a choice. You survived. Don't push your luck. Second, pay attention to your dreams. See if the thing comes again. Don't ignore it. Don't invite it either. Just watch and learn. Third, if you feel like you are being watched again, you probably are. Creatures like these, forest spirits, ancient watchers, will walkers, they don't forget faces. And they are very patient. Take this seriously, will you? But don't panic. That's only it makes easier for them to slip in. You're not crazy. You saw something. You all did. And you got out. For now. Just keep your eyes open. And maybe sleep with the lights on for a while. Thanks for watching this video. Consider subscribing. We have got many more stories to be unearthed. See you in the next one. Good night.